Welcome to the Urban Gardener YouTube channel. My name is Alexis and I am the Urban Gardener. It is late summer, early fall. It's about early September in my zone 7B, Washington, D.C. And I'm doing a lot of different fall prep things in my garden, including, sowing my fall seedlings, starting some seeds, directly sowing some, and also prepping my yard for the fall and winter and potentially spring. Because if you can see back here, my grass is looking a little sad right now, a little patchy, and now is a great time to actually sow some grass seeds in your yard, particularly in zone 7B, where the fall time, the temperatures are getting a little bit cooler outside. It's still like that summer heat trying to hold on, but that's great to have around because it helps for the grass seeds to germinate. But the cool temperatures help, so that they don't get beat up by the sun. So we're actually going to start some grass seeds in my yard because it needs it, and we just want to have a lush and green yard by the time spring arrives. Now is a great time to sow them while the grass seeds germinate, and they'll get established over, before the winter time and that freeze comes, so that they'll be ready for that springtime. So let me show you how I plan to sow some grass seeds, and this video is sponsored by Outsidepride, who has provided some grass seeds for me to test out. All right, so I have dumped in some compost here from a bag that I got from the big box store, and now I'm going to mix in the grass seeds with it. So I didn't get too fancy with this one. I literally just dumped the seed bag into the compost in my wheelbarrow and just mixed it up with my hands. Nothing too fancy, just enough so it looks like it's well blended. You can see like an even mix between the seeds and the soil. So, to make sure that's evenly distributed. And then once I finish that, we're going to dump it onto the grass. So with this, you just want to eyeball it and dump it on any spots that need some grass to fill in. All right, so I'm watering it in. I'm already seeing something that could potentially be problematic, but we're going to be optimistic. We have a hill in our backyard, so it's already sliding down the grass seeds. So this area might not get as seeded in as, below. I might put some compost on top of it, and ideally you probably want to use a sprinkler or wait until it rains outside. So I'm gonna check the forecast and hopefully it rains soon. So stay tuned. So we got everything seeded in. I don't know, I'm curious to see how things turn out because, like I said, we have a hill here, and when it rains it's probably gonna just slide the seeds down. I hope they germinate before that, but we'll see. So just stay tuned. I'll give an update on how everything looks in about a month. All right, guys, so here we are about a few weeks since I have sowed all of the grass seeds in our yard behind us, and honestly I'm surprised. Like, I wasn't sure how quickly the grass seeds would germinate and how it would fill in my yard, and I honestly can see a difference between when I had sowed the seeds and we had the patchy grass areas that had, like, the burned up from the summer heat and everything. And so let me just show you all like how the grass looks today. All right, so this is a few weeks since sowing the seeds in the yard, and it's not fully in. I think there's some spots that I probably could have put more seeds and compost in, but you guys, like, this is like a drastic transformation from what we had a few weeks ago when our grass at the end of the summer was burned up, and it was just filled with a bunch of yellow, like over here, burnt up yellow grass, especially in that area, and even like along the walkway over here. It wasn't as filled in as it is now. It could use a little bit more seeds, but I think that is pretty good. And I think, like, I can probably do like one more round of seeds in some of the areas. You can probably see here some areas that I could have put probably more compost on top. There's some seeds that are there. but probably needs a little bit more compost on top of them. But it looks really good. Like I can really see a difference. And I'm gonna, get you all up close so you can see like how the grass, if you can see the little tiny grass compared to the thicker, more mature grass. The tiny grass are the grass seeds that have germinated. So you can see how it like really filled in, especially right here. This little patch right here, you can see a lot of the grass seeds have germinated there. So I'm going to definitely do another round of some grass seeds. I didn't use my whole bag up because I just wanted to test it out, see how it worked out, and I love it. It's doing great. And I also made sure to not walk around this area because, like walking on an area, with grass is not going to help it germinate and grow. So, yep, I'm pretty happy about that. Lessons from sowing seeds, grass seeds especially. Definitely, if you're trying to fill in those areas in your yard that are just, troll areas that have like burnt up from previous gardening year seasons, the summer heat, definitely wait until early spring and also late summer, early fall to sow your grass seeds, because those are great times when the temperature isn't as extremely hot. It's nice and kind of cool, more even. It's not too cold, not too hot, but also it's a time where it's warm enough to where the seeds will germinate. And so once they germinate and then you're watering them and just, nurturing them, then they'll grow on and be nice, full and lush. So I'm going to continue. We have some rain in the forecast, which is so great because we won't have to water our grass and it'll get just, natural rain water from natural water, whatever, from the rain, and it'll be able to help the grass and just staying, getting more established before the frost comes in like about a couple more months. We're in September, mid to late September. So our first anticipated frost is going to be around late October, probably early November. Even though the almanac says November 15th, I never trust those dates sometimes. But we have enough time for our grass to get established, which is great. So then it overwinters, and then by the time spring comes, it'll be just fine. And I'll probably put like a round of some fertilizer as well. My husband usually likes to put fertilizer in the grass in the fall too, before it gets too cold, just so that it just has a nice little boost before that frost and the winter. And then by the time spring comes, grass will be nice and full and lush. So I hope that this video was helpful for you all, and that you, just some tips and tricks on how to start or get your grass in shape before that frost. And as always, happy gardening.